You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Thank you for joining me here today on our first house call of the weekend, where we are going to get into answering our community's questions, just like we do each and every Saturday and Sunday. Looking forward to be able to try to share some of my experience, maybe some things that I've seen in my own private clinical practice with you, so that you can take that first step to taking back control of your body, your mind as well, your wellness, your weight loss, your anti-aging, all those different benefits that many of us want, and so that's my job here today. Love seeing these questions, love being able to answer them. We have all sorts, like literally all sorts of questions coming in today, everything from gut-based, nutrition-based, supplement reading-based. So looking forward to that. I hope that you're excited to get started. Without further ado, let's just get right into the first question. So the first question is actually from Chrystelle, and she's writing, "Hi, Stephen. I heard your podcast, and I thought, finally, someone that can help me. I want to give you the full story so that you have all the facts, but the short version so I don't write a story book." So here it goes, and I'm going to ad-lib here, Chrystelle. The reason I'm doing that is just I want to make sure, just in regards of time, that we don't take too much time up. But for everybody, go to stephencabral.com/806. stephencabral.com/806. That's all of the questions in their entirety, plus all the links that I may be talking about on today's show. So Chrystelle goes on to say she had a milk allergy as a child. It gave her bronchitis and congestion. She reintroduced it into her diet. I was told that she outgrown it. She realized it still doesn't agree with her, causes bloating, causes constipation. She was also on ADD medication, ADHD medication. She's had 3 Caesareans. She had a miscarriage. She had breast reduction. She had her wisdom teeth removed surgically. Plenty of medication. Over the 2 years, she entered into a bodybuilding competition, got down to 10% body fat, took in 175 grams of protein every day with meat and bars and shakes and canned fish, ate a lot of poor food, trying to cut out gluten. She has pimples on her face, commonly gets headaches, tired, change of mood, tried cutting out all grains and sugars and carbs. Doing this, lost weight and the bloating, the headaches stopped, but then I became constipated, didn't sleep well. I have inconsistent bowel movements, drank alcohol really these days, diagnosed with IBS, tried a candida diet, realized I put my body through a lot. I'm hoping you can help me figure out my issues, although it says dishes. That's what happens, I guess, I think, with voice text, and heal my body. Okay, so much going on, so much to do. Please check out my podcast on why candida diets don't work. Just type that in at stephencabral.com/podcasts, why candida diets don't work. Check that out. Okay, so here's what I recommend. A lot of gut-based issues, especially in the past, like myself, I was eating so much protein. I would run a thyroid hormone adrenal panel, and I would run an organic acids test. Those are my first 2 recommendations. Without a doubt, that's what I would run. If you can do a third, I would do the hair tissue mineral analysis. The reason you want to do this is because these things you need to test for. You want to look at your hormone levels. You want to look at your progesterone to your estrogen. You want to look at your cortisol levels throughout the day, kind of as you're feeling like blah. You want to figure out why you can't eat carbs. Why do they cause bloating? Do you have candida overgrowth? Do you have C. diff overgrowth? You can also run a stool test if you wanted to look for E. coli and other things like that as well, or maybe parasites from all the meat and fish that you ate. Check that out. You can absolutely look into that. A candida diet alone, just to cut to the chase, is not going to work. You need to actually remove it with the biofilm disruptors, the herbal-based products. Remember, I did a whole podcast on my CBO protocol as well. Check that out. That is how you're going to get better, Chrystelle, and I know that we can help you with that. So check out the links at stephencabral.com/806. We will help you with that. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. My husband and I are really healthy 27-year-olds, but we want to have a baby soon. Any tips on a healthy pregnancy? I'm doing the 14-day Dr. Cabral detox. I'm removing toxins, preparing for a healthy place for my baby to grow. I'm a petite 119-pound woman. I want to strengthen myself and to eventually give birth. Is there a book you could recommend that tracks what to be mindful of each month to pursue an ideal health for my family, and I. Thank you so much for all you do. All right, Anonymous, I did a podcast on this. It's one of our top ones. It's called How to Have a Happy and Healthy Pregnancy. So go to stephencabral.com/podcast and type in healthy pregnancy. And you will find the podcast on that. It tells you exactly what to do before you get pregnant, what to do while you are pregnant, and what to do after you give birth. And the reason is that your dietary needs change, and what to do for diet, what to do for supplementation, and how to have a healthy pregnancy. Also, my new book, The Rain Barrel Effect, talks all about that detoxification protocol and process for both, not obviously just for women, but also for men as well. You want to get your body healthy, and it shows you exactly how to do that. You can do a hair tissue mineral analysis to look at heavy metals to make sure your minerals are high enough. That's the most important thing. It's even more important than vitamins, by the way. When you're getting pregnant and when you are pregnant and giving birth is your body gets depleted of minerals. Minerals, what helps fortify and rebuild that life that you are growing inside of you. So check that out. Really important. Hair tissue mineral analysis, great to do. You can also run our toxicity test. The toxicity test would let you know what environmental toxins are in your body. I'll link that up in the show notes here today as well. Toxicity test. All right. It is in there. Check that out. It tells you exactly what to do. Melissa writes in next. Hi, team. I started day 1 of the 7-day detox. I'm curious about sugar being listed as an other ingredient. If the whole point is to reset the liver and avoid sugary fruits to help lose weight, why is this ingredient in the protein powder? Thank you, Mel. Okay, let's get back actually. For Anonymous, who wrote back before about the pregnancy, really great that you're doing the 14 to 21 day Dr. Ball detox. That's my highest recommendation. Do that, 3 to 4 months before getting pregnant. Highly recommend that. Okay, Melissa, to answer your question about sugar inside of the daily nutritional support shake, which is in the Dr. Ball detox, you can't eat raw protein powder. It's so bitter. So that's the issue, right? You literally cannot consume raw protein. Anybody who's ever had raw whey protein, raw pea powder, raw any of these things, super bitter. So you have to add some type of sugar. What we do is we do a natural, non-GMO sugar, and we also do organic stevia. And so both of these things been proven very, very safe. Keep in mind, the reason you see the natural sugars in there, that actually comes from some of the pea-based protein powder, the rice-based protein powder, and just a little sugar. Now, keep in mind, it's only 2 grams. It's 2 grams. That's it. So keep in mind, even diabetics, it doesn't raise their blood sugar with just 2 grams of sugar. Do keep that in mind. Just eating a small handful of meat would raise, or even fish, protein, would raise your blood sugar more than 2 grams of sugar. 2 grams of sugar is nothing. It's not even a fourth of a teaspoon. So think about that. In your entire shake, there's less than a fourth of a teaspoon, and you would honestly not be able to consume it without a tiny bit of sugar. And this does not affect your blood sugar at all. So just keep in mind, there's over 30 different minerals and vitamins and antioxidants and the rice and the pea-based protein, all of those things. I hand-selected everything in that product to be something that I would put in my body, that I give to my own children. My wife uses it. My parents use it. Everyone in my practice uses it. Most of our online people, lab coaching clients use it as well. So keep in mind, it doesn't affect your liver. It won't even make it to your liver most likely. It's going to be absorbed right into the bloodstream and utilized as not even fuel. I mean, remember, you're going to use that in less than 10 minutes of walking. I mean, not even, you can use it like 2 minutes of walking. So, it's a great question. And Melissa, I'm not making fun of you or joking around about asking the question. It's a great question. And actually, I'm shocked that it hasn't come up before. But that is, just be rest assured, it's not going to affect your blood sugar at all. And it's not fructose. It's just glucose. And that's it. So that's it. Won't affect your blood sugar, won't affect your detox. And it will allow you to actually drink the shake itself and make it taste good, because it does taste good. All right, Jess is up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. Can't thank you enough for your generosity and sharing your wealth of knowledge. Heard your podcast. I listen to you every day in the car. Was hoping you could shed some light on the topic of food addiction and practical ways to beat it. Or Pyrolles, undermethylation, copper zinc imbalance, which I've been recently diagnosed with. Would love to hear your thoughts on how to overcome these imbalances. I know a major overhaul to my diet, lifestyle is necessary. Thanks again, Jess. This is a great question. I actually got this question from my health coach today as well. I wonder if it was from you on our Facebook page. So here's the deal. We used to test for Pyrolles. We test for pylorrhea. We would test for many different things. The reason we don't test that anymore is we save people $300. Just save them $300. We give you your B vitamins, so your Active B complex. That's what you'll take, Active B complex. I'll link that up in the show notes today. Active B complex, super inexpensive. It's like 50 cents a day. Like, it's very, very inexpensive. Active B complex and zinc. All right. So here's the deal. Super easy to overcome these. And it also helps with food addiction, and it helps with boosting mood. So there's a book I recommended before in the past called Nutrient Power. It talks about that, the power of zinc and B6, methylfolate, which is your natural folic acid, methylcobalamin, which is your natural B12. Yeah, and so like legitimately, that's why I do my super nutrient of the week every Friday. Literally every Friday, super nutrient of the week. Although actually next Friday I have a special guest interview, so you'll have to check that out. I think you'll be excited who I'm going to have on the show. But I literally tell people that your body, when it has an imbalance, it has too much of something or too little of something. That's essentially it. It's toxic or it's deficient. And so what we do is that daily nutritional support shake that I'm talking about, that's the place to start. A lot of people can get a big benefit from taking the Active B complex on top of that, without a doubt. I use it myself. But many other people, all they need ever is that shake because it has 50 milligrams of most of the B vitamins that you need, 25 milligrams, I believe, of your vitamin B6. It has 15 milligrams of your zinc, and it has 2 milligrams of your copper. So it's a really nice balance. Everything is balanced. So remember, copper to zinc is about a 9-to-1 or so ratio. Some people will go a little bit higher, 15-to-1. Methylation, under methylation, you'll be able to methylate better with the natural methylfolate we have in our daily activated multi and our daily nutritional support shake and our Active B complex. So that will help with the folate and it will help with the B12. The Pyrolles will be helped with additional zinc intake and your B vitamins. So you're all set. You are covered by using those products, and I hope that helps. And then food addiction wise, so important that all these people depriving themselves of any carbohydrates, they're going to cheat, they're going to binge, they're going to want those carbohydrates. Remember, keep your carbohydrates in moderation if you're someone that's looking to lose body fat and burn fuel, but you still need carbohydrates in your everyday nutrition. So that is absolutely what I recommend. We do the smoothie in the morning. We do, just a healthy balanced lunch with protein, carbs, and fats, and the same with dinner. And then most people don't need an afternoon snack unless they're the ectomorphic body type, or they train hard in the afternoon, or they go a long time between lunch and dinner. But if you're someone who's looking to burn body fat, usually we do the 3 main meals per day, not 4. But if you're a thinner body type, then you might need that afternoon snack for sure. So Jess, hopefully that gets you started. I'd love to do a follow-up. If needed, please let me know if I can help in that way. All right, let's move over to Bill. Bill's asking, longtime listener, big fan of the show. What are your recommendations for supplements on your website to take if I can't afford the Candida protocol at this time? Bill, great question. I recommend if you can't afford it at this time, something called the Clean Gut Probiotic. So the Clean Gut Probiotic is to push out a small amount of yeast. If you don't have massive yeast overgrowth, then you use the Clean Gut Probiotic, which contains the Saccharomyces boulardii, and it contains the healthy strains of good probiotics in that. You'll take 2 a day. So you'll take 1 upon waking and 1 before bed. And I would also, if I had to pick one more along with it, then I would do the digestive enzyme. And I know that might sound strange, but I want to make sure that you're properly breaking down your food so that it's not left in too much of a whole form where it would cause fermentation in the small intestine. That's what I'm recommending for right now. That is what I would do. And when finances do allow for it, then I would run the Candida protocol if the bloating and digestive issues are still there, because even though the Clean Gut Probiotic works fantastic, if you have a large amount of yeast overgrowth and a large amount of bacterial overgrowth, then you will want to do that Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, of course. That's why we have it. All right, Bill, great question. Robert's up next. And Bill, thank you for listening too. I really appreciate that. Robert's up. Dr. Cabral, first of all, I enjoy your podcast. I'd like to leave some general feedback about the podcast sound. Lately, the podcast is only on the left channel, nothing on the right. I randomly chose an older podcast and it didn't have that problem. So please adjust your equipment so that we can enjoy the podcast in both ears. Thank you. Robert, thank you for that feedback. So here's the deal. We actually got that. So always, if you can leave this feedback as well at cabralsupportgroup.com, that's our free Facebook group. Feel free to join and let us know which podcast number it is. We've had it happen in the past. We asked people, hey, check out podcast number, let's just say like 557. Some people can hear it in both ears and some people can't. So we're wondering if it's like an iTunes thing or it's even like an internet connection thing or whatever it is, because we actually broadcast and edit the podcast in stereo. And that means that people should be able to hear it in both ears of their headphones. But I love this feedback. So Robert, I appreciate that. Let me know. Literally cabralsupportgroup.com. If it ever happens again in the future, everybody let me know at cabralsupportgroup.com. we want this to be the best audio available. And I don't edit any of this myself because I don't know how to edit podcasts to save my life. But what I do know is that my podcast editor does. So what I do is I record the podcast, of course, and I record our fun little outro at the end. And my podcast editor puts together the music, and he adds the podcast, and then he adds the music and the outro at the end. So let us know. And of course, I'll bring that to my podcast editor to, for a review. So thanks, Robert. Rosie's up next. Rosie's asking, hi, Dr. Ball. I've been told I have an enlarged thyroid by my past few primary care physicians. Every year, I end up taking a blood work test to check my thyroid as well as ultrasound to make sure there aren't any growths. My tests always come back normal, and I'm always told just to keep an eye on it. Is there something I should be concerned about? Or do people just happen to have a larger normal thyroid? I would like to find out what the root cause is. I'm 36. Pretty healthy, no major health issues. Would love any information, advice you can give me. So, Rosie, I've done so many podcasts on thyroid. This past week, I'd love to get you this. Let me check it out for you. Go to StephenCabral.com/803. Okay, 803, the top 3 best and worst foods for your thyroid and metabolism. All right. So, it's possible that they're looking at your TSH only. What I would love for you to do is run our thyroid hormone adrenal lab. Then you have me looking at your TSH, your free T4, your T3. We're looking at your TPO antibodies to make sure there's not an inflammation-based damage from antibodies attacking your thyroid. I'm also going to look at your vitamin D levels. I'm going to look at your insulin and glucose levels. I'm going to look at your cortisol levels, all of that. So that's the best lab to run. I would love you to run that. And then I would stay away from goitrogenic foods. And you can find out some of those goitrogenic foods at StephenCabral.com/803 for that podcast. And then, again, the goitrogenic foods, though, would also be like the raw cruciferous vegetables, raw kale, but kale's one of the main ones, but raw broccoli, raw whatever. Okay? So check that out for sure. And you'll be able to get all of those recommendations right there. And I know that will be very, very helpful for you to look at your thyroid adrenal hormone lab. So love to be able to help you with that if interested. All right. So Catherine's up next. Hi, Stephen. A friend turned me onto your podcast and I've been listening to many episodes and then decided to do a search of every episode you mentioned SIBO. And I've been going through those. I've had ongoing digestive issues for 6 years. At one point, I couldn't eat anything without making me sick. I changed to a whole food, plant-based diet, no animal products, all except for honey. It helped me tremendously, but I still have episodes and about 1 time a week or so. Okay. I've done the LCAT food sensitivity test, moderate reactions to some foods. I've done an organic acid test recommended by my naturopath, showed SIBO and candida overgrowth. That was a year ago. Trained heavily for an Ironman. I use some supplementation. I'm, again, heavy into Ironman training, a little less than 3 months away on April 28th. I'm still having symptoms almost a year later. I've heard you say over and over again, use the candida bacterial overgrowth protocol, and I'm considering it. Should I wait until after the Ironman since it's a 12-week protocol and I have to eat certain foods during the training? My workouts are about 4 to 6 hour bike rides and 2 to 4 hour runs. Thank you for all your information. I'll be bringing you up at my next appointment with my naturopath as she uses the same supplements you do. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, so Catherine, I would use yes. So here's the deal. Let's give you this exactly. So just keep in mind that your training can also be affecting your digestion, and your training can actually be causing certain variations with leaky gut. So I just want you to understand that training for an Ironman, I train athletes for an Ironman triathlon. So I just want you to know this. It's not health, right? It's not health-based. It's you love it. It's performance-based. I understand that. But in the long run, it's not the healthiest thing to do, right? Because you're training 12 to 17 hours a week. So that's what, if my math is correct, you're doing anywhere like around 2 to 3 hours a day of training, all right? And I'm sure you have an off day, so it's more like 3 to 4 hours a day with a couple of days off. That's intense training. That's going to raise cortisol. It's going to affect your digestion. But yes, after your race is over, that's when you should do the 12-week candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. When you purchase that from StephenCabral.com, you could possibly get those nutritional supplements anywhere. But again, you can always get your nutritional supplements anywhere you want, especially locally with your naturopath. But with our CBO protocol, you also get my exact Cabral sensitive guide that's going to walk you through the process of how to eliminate candida and bacterial overgrowth. We work with people literally every single day on this, online all over the world, whether it be all of our friends in Australia and New Zealand, working with people in the UK, working with people in Canada, the US, like literally all over the world. So yes, that's exactly what I would do. Wait till the triathlon's over and then begin that CBO protocol. And of course, you can always lab test if you needed to, but they haven't gone away. Symptoms haven't gone away, assuming you didn't get it. Like it just, whatever you did before wasn't the correct protocol for you. I just know ours will help you. And then after you're done with the candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, you're going to want to do the gut rebuilding protocol as well to literally seal up the gut wall. All right, Lauren's up next. Lauren's asking, I have a question about my 6-year-old mother. She's been recently diagnosed with alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. They found a spot on her lungs and telling her it's emphysema. She's never smoked. She was around her Nana, who is a smoker, but that was when she was younger and she only visited weekly. Said to be a genetic disorder, but it can be turned on by inflammation. Is it something that we can take care of with diet? She has asthma for years, steroids, and many breathing treatments multiple times a year. She had been on depression pills for at least 21 years, fibromyalgia for 20 years. She also only had bowel movement a few times a week. She has the symptoms of parasites and candida. I would like to do the organic acids test, wondering what your suggestion is and what you know about alpha-1 trypsin deficiency. Okay, Lauren. So yeah, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, of course, it is a genetic inherited-based issue with symptoms being more like wheezing or shortness of breath, anything like that, common to emphysema-based symptoms. Just do keep in mind that the real research that I've seen on this specifically is looking at an issue as well with the liver. So the liver's inability to essentially help to transform some of the enzymes, such as neutrophil elastase. So what we're looking at in this is, yes, people who've been around secondhand smoke, people who have smoked themselves, they've been exposed to maybe like construction-based sites and any type of chemicals that can get into the lungs. So, it could be inhaling, like working as a farmer, inhaling pesticides, and all of these things can lead to COPD and they can lead to cirrhosis. And so what I would recommend is this. I would look at, if she has digestive issues, she has parasites, look at an organic acids test, look at a parasite test, do a hair tissue mineral analysis, okay? Then, depending on what you find, of course, I'll give you my recommendations. You'll get on the phone with one of my health coaches, which is included with those lab tests, and they'll give you my personal recommendations. But as long as your mother is not on any medications that would prevent her from doing the Dr. Ball detox, well, I would recommend a 21-day Dr. Ball detox to help greatly reduce her inflammation, to reduce the toxic load, to help kind of wring out that liver, so to speak. And I think she would get a lot of benefit from that. And I've seen tremendous benefit with that, since this is not a new thing. Meaning, like, yes, the genetics, they were then presented, right? The genetic mutation came about, but she's been dealing with fibromyalgia and gut-based issues and inflammatory-based issues for more than 2 decades. So this is just kind of like the rain barrel effect in real life. She's been filling up her rain barrel day in and day out for decades. And now all of a sudden she's diagnosed with this lung-based disorder that wouldn't have come about if she had not filled up that rain barrel to its maximum. So that is the answer that I believe that you'll be looking for. Lab test first, if possible. If not, get right into that 21-day detox. And then potentially, if you believe that she has parasites and candida, you'll do the parasite protocol followed up by the candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, and then seal up that gut. I mean, even just by the change in the nutrition that she's going to be doing with the Dr. Ball detox, I really believe that she'll see tremendous benefit. Have her start as slow as she wants. I mean, she doesn't have to do those first 2 shake-only days. She can just start with the meal plan with the shake in the morning and the shake in the afternoon. Remember, like, if the person's not up for it, still do it to the best of your ability, because you're still going to get great results. Just if you can't do it perfectly, still do it to get the results. That's what's really important. So that's what I want to see for everybody is, my goal is just to help people and meet them where they're at right now. Like, let's just say you're not ready to do the full thing in the 2 days of the shake fasting. No problem. Start with day 3, the shake, then the vegan-based lunch, and then the shake in the afternoon, then the paleo-style dinner. Like, totally fine. Do that. That's great. It's tremendous. You're going to get unbelievable benefit. So, let me help you. Let me help you where you're at right now. And then in the future, you might be able to follow it to a T, but maybe right now is not the right time. I'm okay with that. I just want to help you to the best of my ability. So really great questions today. We're going to keep it at that. But tomorrow, I'll be answering more questions coming in really from the past. We got these about 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. Looking forward to catching up. Looking forward to answering all of those questions. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And as always, if this show was helpful, please do pass it along to someone else it could serve. Take care. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.